Yeah, I am.
Tommy Egan is back and better than ever. And by the looks of this teaser, y'all, this is giving OG power vibes. The old school power, violent, down, that grittiness, it's back. And I remember back at the Power Book 2 Go Season 4 premiere where I seen Joseph Sikora and he was pretty much doing an interview and he said Season 3 or 4 is going to be the best ever in Power. And I can see why. Let's get right into it. But before we get into the teaser breakdown, I want to read this article that Deadline put out about Force Season 3. It says, in Season 3, Tommy Egan is back with an ever-growing list of enemies. With the feds on his tail and street gangs trying to take him down, Tommy is strategic in his quest to take over Chicago's drug game, while also protecting those he loves most. This season, Tommy must poach customers from rival factions if he has any chance of becoming Kingpin, all while battling Miguel's growing power and navigating an increasingly complex minefield of threats in the streets. Deepening divide within his coalition and personal life under threat, Tommy must balance offense and defense to survive and protect everything he's worked for. So just off that article, you can already tell what kind of season this is going to be for Tommy, right? All his enemies are coming back for him. They're piling up. Kind of like Ghost in Power Season 6, right? I mentioned this before. So let's get right into this breakdown and see what's going to happen. First look, we see Tommy, right? And he's swerving on that corner. Whoa. Right? He looks like he's on the move. He looks like he's running to get to a location very, very fast, right? You know, Tommy don't play around. When he's in that Mustang, like, hey, he gonna get to it. He gonna make some moves. And it's great to see the Mustang again, y'all. I mean, Tommy's been driving that same whip since the beginning of OG Power. So just seeing that car again, it just brings back memories, a lot of nostalgia. So next up, we get a look at Diamond, right? And he looks like he's strapping up. He got guns. He's preparing for war, some sort of battle. And he looks stressed. He looks frustrated. You know, this whole partnership with Tommy hasn't been easy on him. And we know based on how last season ended, him and Tommy aren't seeing toe to toe. And he feels like Tommy's making decisions without him. He feels like Tommy's trying to take control of everything, you know, and not work as a team. So when they talk about enemies in that Deadline article, best believe Diamond's ultimately going to become one of those enemies. And his brother Jannard is going to play a big role in kind of switching him to the other side. Then we cut back to Tommy and he's banging on someone's door, right? He looks like he's ready for action. He's ready to get down. And guys, let me just say this. I am so happy that Gary Lennon is back producing, running this show, writing this show. He's one of the Power OGs. And I've said this a million times. That first season of Force just didn't feel like Power, didn't feel like Tommy. And since then, like, he's really made a huge shift and kind of making us feel that OG presence, that OG Tommy character again. And I'm telling y'all, this season gonna be the best season of Force yet. Then we get a first look at Jannard, your boy Jannard, the cokehead. He was tripping last season. I'm sure a lot of you guys know, like, Jannard's one of my favorite characters on this show. I really do hope he makes it out. It's not looking too great for a lot of this Force cast, right? So it's gonna be tough for him to make it out, but I think he has a slight chance. Then we come back to your boy Tommy. He's saying he's back. He's making his presence known. And we see another scene with him pulling up on someone and about to shoot them in the balls. Look, scenes like this is exactly what I mean. Like in the OG Power, Tommy used to do insane stuff, and you just didn't really get that in Force. Now, I think we're going to have a lot of action scenes, especially in Season 3, of Tommy just doing insanely wild shit. We know that Force is an action-packed TV show. That's really what it is, and we're going to get a lot of that in this final season. So then we see some gunfire coming out of a car and followed by, you know, feds pulling up to a scene of a crime, right? There's going to be a lot of violence this season. It is the final season. It's going to be a bloodbath. Force is already a very violent and action-packed show. So you can imagine in this final season, how many people are probably going to die, how much blood is going to get shed, and we all looking forward to it. Then we cut to your girl, Maria, right? And I'm not going to lie, this didn't surprise me at all that she's alive. They literally spoiled this like almost a month ago where they did a kind of a teaser for Raising Kanan Season 5 and combined it with the Season 3 trailer for Season 3, right? And they had a scene with Maria and Tommy talking. And I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you show us that? You know, this is one of the most anticipated storylines. I thought they would keep that on lock, but it is Starz, it's Power. You know, that's how they want to move. We have another scene here with a crew. They strapped up. They're looking like it's going to be a robbery, some sort of, you know, gun fight, gun power. There's going to be, oh my God, I can't even speak right now, y'all. This season is going to be crazy. It's going to be action-packed. I'm so excited. I can't wait for Force. You see your boy Tommy strapped up with the gold gun. You know Tommy don't play about his weapons. You know when it's time to get down and dirty, he's ready to pull that trigger on anybody. And he's going to catch a lot of bodies. bodies this season. I can guarantee it. Then we see your boy D-Mac, the original Crash Out. Who gave this man a strap? Who gave him a gun again, right? We know King Kilo's people gonna be looking for D-Mac for sure. He's one of the characters that I hope survive and could potentially make it into the spinoff, into Power Legacy. But I don't know, with all the mistakes and bodies he's been catching, I don't know if things are gonna look too good for him. Let's wait and see. And we have another action scene here with Tommy, and he looks like he's about to drop something on someone. And this kind of speaks to what I was saying earlier in the video is Tommy's back to doing that OG shit. Y'all remember in the first season of Power, he threw somebody off a building. He burned guys alive. Like, he was doing crazy stuff. And, that's kind of what made us fall in love with his character is, his ability to just do crazy stuff and not feel any sort of remorse. And I'm glad he's getting back to that. Shout out Gary Lennon. And then we finally see Shanti, right? She's plotting on Tommy. Her and Denard have been plotting on Tommy from the very beginning. They're the ones who kind of blew up Tommy and Marae's relationship by exposing them to Miguel, right? So she's definitely going to be one of those characters that could be on the chopping block. We know Tommy's enemies usually don't do too well. And then we cut to Vic, and it looks like he's getting tortured, drowned underwater. We know this is a character who's a complete, straight-up rat, and we're all surprised that Tommy didn't kill him last season. Obviously, he has a greater motive for keeping Vic alive. He probably wants to use him to kind of get back at the feds and control them. So I think Vic will survive a lot longer than a lot of us think, but I think eventually he'll get smoked as well. We see Detective Stacy Marks, and nobody likes this character. Nobody likes her. She's not a good fed. She's not going to catch Tommy. Right, you guys know how I feel about feds in shows post OG Power. They're not good. They're not successful. They're not catching any of these criminals, especially not Tommy Egan. We cut to another character that I believe could be part of King Kilo's crew. Could he be coming back for revenge on D-Mac? He's gonna have to watch his back. See Tommy in another scene with guns blazing, 2 straps. He got the dual guns. Yo, this shit is crazy, and then it cuts to another scene with Tommy and Diamond and blowing some shit up, and Tommy's making it very clear he's taking shit over. And the final scene is obviously a scene with him throwing a guy out the roof, and this is OG Tommy. Guys, OG Tommy is back. I'm very excited for season 3. I think this could deadass be one of the best seasons ever in Power. And we didn't even see Tariq in this teaser. We probably won't see Tariq in the full trailer either. They're going to kind of save that tidbit for the actual air of the show. But I think with all the characters they have, all the storylines they have brewing up, and a possible Tariq return, when Tommy kind of makes that final call, when he has his back against the wall and Tariq pulls up and helps him, oh my God. I mean, that's going to make for a great season, and it'll be the perfect segue into Power Legacy. I'm going to keep doing these breakdowns or reaction videos for you guys, and stay tuned for the actual full trailer drops. I'm breaking it down. I'll catch y'all in the next one.